Listen.
I think that it should, by law, half of the NBA should be white.
Great, fine.
And the product would suck.
Lobby for it.
Because
I don't
blacks
care.
are much better at basketball than we whites are.
What political power does the NBA have?
A lot, actually. The NBA reaches millions of people every day. They have slogans that people internalize. In fact, if the NBA had no political power, why would they have to wear Black Lives Matter on all their jerseys? Why would politicians try to get their endorsements all the time? The NBA is more powerful than Congress in some ways of shaping the minds.
It's your turn to be academically dishonest.
Hold on
now,
a second.
Sure.
No. But if you want fair representation, just to be clear, then why would you not be against whites by law being half of the National Basketball Association? Right now, black people make up 88% of the NBA.
Do it, great.
So I've heard this argument from a lot of white people, is that sports are mainly there for black people, and black people are there because they're the best performers. And that's where I heard when I was a younger person that they said a lot of black people were bred and made in slavery specifically for labor, which is why a lot of them were used for a lot of these positions, and that's why a lot of them get mocked for it, is because of course they're in those positions, they're in the positions for labor, which is the insulting factor of what he's pushing, is because they're good at labor, whereas the government's ran by intellectuals where a lot of black and brown people cannot compete, which is why he's pushing the identity of making sure that there's white people in the NBA, but they would suck, because he's trying to say that if you put black people by mandatory inside of government, they're not intellectually competitive, and therefore they will fail, because he's always trying to push the inferiority complex where he makes black and brown people look like they're not able to compete through intelligence, and then uses his jealousy of physicality because he's insecure about his body in order to say that the black people inside of the NBA or any athletic sports are only there because of the benefits of slavery, essentially, which is why he's pushing this hidden agenda that he's better than people for saying this, but really just tries to put black people on a pedestal they don't understand, is just feeding their ego because they feel better, at least we look better, at least we're stronger, he's jealous, but then rips them down apart by secretly hiding the hidden part where he's insinuating slavery is why you are getting your job in athletes. Slavery and forcing you into labor is why a lot of you are respected, which is why a lot of this identity that he pushes, like propaganda being used, he's angry when they have a political opinion, because something like basketball influences a lot of Americans of black, white, brown. He sees that as a chance of propaganda that they utilize only to be on the side of the Democrats, which he's upset by because he said Black Lives Matter. He didn't say any Republican talking points because a lot of them already know white people are on a lot of lying, a lot of deceit, and a lot of hatred toward their race, because he's upset that, again, he believes that if they're allowed inside of the government, that a lot of them would push a lot of what he believes is victimhood, which he has a speech about victimhood, about taking accountability, and he even mentions race about it, and he pushes even more that a lot of black and brown people should just get better at what they do.